Okay, I'm setting up an otter trail here. This is a crossover on the side of a beaver dam. One thing that I believe in if I'm going to use Conibears or body grips for otter is to camouflage them as well as I can. Now hopefully you can see that. You should be able to see the trigger wires hanging down. But if you'll notice, I've covered the bottom of the body grip up with mud and leaves. You can see the sides of the springs there barely. And then I've got grass on the top with some sticks. Basically that's a 220 Belial with a stabilizer, and there's a cable attached to the end of the spring that runs to the stabilizer, so it's cabled and swiveled. But that's what I like to do. Get that in there good, get it camouflaged, get it solid, and then leave it alone. And I'll hang a piece of flagging tape up high so I can find it, because you get a good heavy rain, things wash around, things move around. It can be really difficult to find camouflage sets, and you don't want to find one of these with your foot, trust me. Okay, I've got another Belial 220 set here. Now, this was a much bigger opening before I started narrowing it down. I've also got this Belial set vertically. If you'll notice, I'm using a piece of lath that is run through both springs, and that's how I'm standing that trap up on its side. Now when I do that, notice the configuration of the triggers. Rather than have them spread out wide, I've got them narrower and closer together, and I've got them on the bottom. I want the otter to climb over the triggers and through the trap, and when he touches those triggers, it's going to set the trap off. And I've got it cabled off to a tree over here, but it's just a cheap piece of lath that that you can buy at the store. I break them into I don't know, 2-foot long sections or so, and I use it when I want to stabilize the body grip in a vertical position like that. So hopefully that'll be a good set. And once again, you can see I've got the bottom very well camouflaged, and I've got the top camouflaged, and I've narrowed this down. All of that right there on the sides was added by me to narrow it down, because I'm out of 330s, and so I'm going to use 220s even in some of these bigger openings. Well, look at here. We have a beaver caught in my 220 Belial that I put in that little crossover here. I had set that for otter. This is on the far side of a dam, and it's interesting, in this marsh I've noticed that I've caught several beaver using these side slides rather than the main slide in the middle of the dam, which is interesting. But also notice this is one of those 3-footed beavers. It was last week. He stepped in a TS-85 of mine that I had long chained, and he managed to get it twisted up. And since it was a front foot catch, which is never good, he twisted out. And all I had in my trap last weekend was a foot. So it looks like I caught him. The interesting thing is he went over 3 dams. He ignored several caster mound sets. It completely ignored the lure that I had. I was using some Paul Dobbins backbreaker as a change up, and I caught him in a blind set. Never underestimate the blind set. I think the blind set is the way to catch the most fur. There's no putting them on alert with lure, and they hit the trap at full speed. But anyway, kind of a disappointing morning. I had close to a dozen sets out, and this was the only catch that I made. But we had some extremely cold weather move in last night, so I don't know if that had to do anything to do with it or not. But at least I got the one that got away last time. And anybody that tells you can't catch a beaver in a 220, there he is. He's got his head and his front foot inside the trap. Alright, well that's all from this stop. I've got another stop to make, put out some more traps, and I'll be trapping all over the Thanksgiving holiday. So hopefully I'll have a little bit better luck. Things will pick up. Thanks for watching.